and scoring on their first possession, which they have done every time this season. In fact, they've scored on their first play 3 times this year. Washington is going to go to the air. Easy completion across midfield, a little spin and a first down. Have receptions for this Georgia Tech offense.
Teams get so geared up about stopping the triple option, they forget about the passing aspect of this Georgia Tech team.
Down. Pitching that one to Roddy Jones, and Jones gets to the corner. Flag on the play. Washington will keep it. Washington across the 40. And that will be enough for a first down. The tackle after the gain of 21.
We talked about the options. First he checked the dive. Maryland decides to take the pitch, so Tevin Washington keeps it himself. There's so much.
On their first 3 plays, this one will not go for 21. Acclimate, but by that time they're usually down 7 or 14-0. Washington will keep.
Backfield could throw off their timing.
3rd and 4. The pitch. Orwin Smith, first down for Tech.
Earlier we saw Tevin Washington keep it himself. This time he makes Maryland cover him at the last second, pitches it out to Orwin Smith. The problems it creates for Maryland's defense.
Team to defend in the red zone is Georgia Tech. They go old school up the middle. David Sims. Pitch to Jones. Stopped in his tracks. Washington, he'll run it. Across the 5. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has scored on their opening drive every time this season.
6 games in a row. That time Tevin Washington did a straight drop back pass.
21. Washington, quick strike, gets it out wide to Tyler Melton, his second grab of the afternoon. Here's Tech's last drive.
Come out right out of the gate, go to the air. Tevin Washington moving the ball downfield, and Paul Johnson has this Maryland defense guessing early, in large part to the execution of his players. Tevin Washington running this offense just like a point guard in basketball, distributing the ball around to all his weapons, and when nobody's there, taking it on his own for the touchdown.
For Washington, that was his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Former. 3rd down, Washington. First down, Georgia Tech.
That is making good decisions. Here he could have pitched it, but he realized it was 3rd and short. Said, hey, I'm going to get enough yards to get the first down and keep the...
1st and 10 for Georgia Tech from the 35. Washington lobbing one and too tall under 35. Washington thought about going right, then spun left and is...
Well, the best way to stop the triple option is to get penetration. You see linebacker number 53, Lauren Gorey, getting penetration, shooting the gap through the hole and getting, because they're in these situations that are clearly passing downs.
Washington rolling to his right, slings one, complete, first down.
And this is one area where they've actually really impressed me this year, is in the passing game. You see Tevin Washington moving out.
1st and 10 as we approach the end of the first quarter. Washington going for it all, looking for Hill. In and out of the hand. And this may be the last play of the first quarter. Right up the middle, some old-fashioned and adapting better to the Edsel system. 3rd and 5 for Georgia Tech. Washington steps back to try and run it, net behind the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play is over. There's something upstairs. So now 3rd and 15. Washington steps back, hit after he released it, lobbed this one up, and it's in and out and finally dropped. Was enjoying things early on. 7-3 Georgia Tech, their 3rd offensive possession of the afternoon. Another keeper going. There were other quarterbacks at Florida State. Very confused. When they're off from Florida State from years past. Washington, pitch to his left. Jones able to pull in. So what are some of the things, if you're a quarterback, that you have to track? Another dashing. And another give. Washington will get the first down.
You know, a quarterback sneak with inches to go, but when Tevin Washington, that's just him coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Orwin Smith in motion, they pitch it to him. Has a block, leaps over his teammate and scampers it.
Everybody talks about the triple option. This time they just run a speed sweep to Orwin Smith. He gets a good block by Roddy Jones. Sheds a tackle from Titus Hill.
One completion to his team, one completion to Georgia Tech. That one caught on a hop by Stephen Hill. Washington pitches that one. Tony Zenit, southwest corner of Georgia. He was an evacuee from Hurricane Katrina. His family just kept driving, trying to find a hotel. They finally found one in Albany. And that's where he played his high school ball, put up great numbers. Staff talking a lot about him yesterday. There's a give up the middle. David Seption. Washington, the pitch. Tough one to grab, but it was pulled in and then met in the backfield. And
a little bit of a missed opportunity for Maryland. You see David Mackel, number 11. He'll come in your screen. He's got a chance for a big tackle for a loss. Over pursues a little bit. That's a good job by Tony.
Flag on the play. Lackadaisical week of practice last week. Was not very happy with the road win at NC State at all. Much better practicing this week from Georgia Tech. Very lot to cover at halftime. Look forward to hearing from you and our friend Matt Stinchcomb. Georgia Tech on offense. Tevin Walker through the air. On 2nd and 7, Washington will keep it. Oh, what a spin across the 15.
Him be indecisive, and that's what they've done so far. He hasn't had the opportunity to get it out there to the pitch.
Alabama. Quarterback keeper had to get some assist. Washington lobbing one down the middle of the field, looking for Hill, and just off his.
They go to their biggest playmaker in Stephen Hill, who actually had a step on the defense just out of story for them last week at NC State as well.
Carry right up the middle. Orwin, they got David Sims across midfield, tackled from behind down. See if they can get more.
Well, here's the thing. They run a dive inside, which typically you wouldn't think would be a big play, but it's Georgia Tech. They always get.
Sims now with 55 yards rushing. Washington to the air. Low ball in and out in the first half of a 11-point affair here from Atlanta. Keeper, Washington, first down.
At this point.
Again, they've already gone to their backup quarter.
They missed one ugly.
And 2nd and 10, 30 seconds left from the 30 for Georgia Tech. Washington. And some turnovers for this Georgia Tech offense. Complete to Smith for Orwin Smith. It's like they're going to spike it, and they do. Both season versus Carolina a couple weeks ago. They only had 17 in the first half. They're looking for more here. Into the end zone and intercepted. Dexter
is an incomplete pass. You're trying to give him a chance. We just talked about a jump ball in the end zone. You have got to fight your way in there and become a defensive back and break that ball up. That's very frustrating for a quarterback. You've got to have a lot of trust in your.
A long shot. Pitch. Smith. And that one pick to end the half. Washington stuck hard.
Washington again faking it to the dive and then following up the hole, almost using the dive like an extra
reception in the end zone. Now 3rd and goal. Washington will keep it and score it.
Seen this a couple times. Tevin Washington fakes the dive and then just follows the B-back right up the hole. Kind of outstretched like that. Sometimes his knee does go down further back. There is a knee.
1st and 10, 9:43 left in the 3rd. They scored on their first drive here in the 2nd half. And some miscommunication was tempo offense. At least the guys are comfortable to it. May not work ideally with your game plan.
Play a lot.
3rd and 3. They're 9 for 12 on 3rd downs today. Fakes the pitch, keep it, net behind. Responses for you coming up. Flag before this one is even snapped. Georgia Tech, right?
For sure.
On 1st down, Washington keeps it and led the Raiders to the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh next week. Maybe something about Primanti Brothers sandwiches. 2nd and 15. Washington, great protection over the middle, completes that one to Stephen Hill, who breaks a tackle, has a first down, and is at midfield. Still on his feet, and then finally broken. Just the 5th completion tonight thrown by Georgia Tech.
Well, he's at 34 yards, right at his average, 33.5, but watch the explosive burst. Stephen Hill gets vertical right away. You can see the explosiveness in number 5. Right there. Maryland's thinking they've got him corralled, and he breaks for 10 yards.
Whoa, fumble, and recovered by Washington.
4, see Tevin Washington, there's a lot of ball handling. When you stick it in those big B-backs' bellies, there's pads around there, there's elbows flying.
And this redshirt junior from Tampa goes in his spot. Washington throws one underneath, unable to be 285 right now, facing a 3rd and 18. Washington hit as he delivers. Tall one and unable to be brought in by thrown by the Maryland D.
Tevin Washington, watch Keith Bowers, number 91, free shot on the quarterback by Lewis Young.
This could be a big play opportunity here for Georgia Tech. A quick little pitch out to Orwin Smith. And Smith dives short of the... I'll tell you, the front line for Maryland has really played very strong. Do you go back to Danny O'Brien at some point here? Your number 2 guy trying to pitch another 3rd, another 3 and out. They try to bring some pressure from the backside. They won't get it. First down and more. Orwin Smith, a huge talented receiving as well.
Orwin Smith coming out of the left A-back spot, just slips past the defense. It's hard to keep track of all the weapons they have for Georgia Tech's offense.
Quarterback keeper leaping over defender.
Tevin Washington getting through, thinking about the pitch, says, nope, I don't want to give it a chance to hit the ground. Let me keep it myself. And I guarantee that's another
Time just about done here in the 3rd quarter. They do get this play off, go right up the middle from their B-back. 0.6, their lowest point total this season, 35 at home to North Carolina on 2nd and 5. Washington avoids the tackle, first down.
There's a little counter option, open one way, reverse out the other. Joe Villano almost a tackle for the loss, and that's a game of inches.
There's another keeper, this one not as productive. Zenon, Jones, and Sims, your running backs, that one blocked Georgia Tech.
Sometimes if you can't sack the quarterback, the next best thing is to bat it down. Right there, A.J. Francis able to get those big mitts up.
Nice adjustment and thought about it.
They'd be right in the thick of this game. Here's Tevin. You see him coming down the line, thought about pitching it, kept it on the ground. And the good thing he did decide.
Washington flag on the play. He's going to have to run it himself. Changes direction across the 30, 25, leans forward.
They can't go into stall mode. Now they've still got to go in attack mode.
Very little on those keepers from Washington plays, and they've done that so far. Another short pickup there. Eligible. 3rd and 4 for Tech. Peoples in motion. Washington through the air. And unable to corral.
And Georgia Tech's passing attack has just been inches off. Here's another one. Tevin Washington trying to find Orwin Smith on a crossing.
Let's say that field goal was good, and you get the extra point. That's a 4-point swing now, making it 21-20. But now it's a 5 to defend. Last 4 possessions: punt, punt, loss on downs, punt for Georgia Tech. 2nd and 11. Washington. Mike. Washington fakes the pitch, hit at the 30. Sims, short. But they're going to. Nope, they're going to run it. And Washington will be short. Has 1 to burn. Yeah, pretty sure Washington is going to keep it just about. Another keeper by Washington, brought down. Washington, the keeper. First down, game over.
The opportunities they had, show them how good they can